Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my 3. Now I am here to discuss a small topic in waste management, that is, what is solid waste management and their types. Introduction to solid waste management. Let me know what is solid waste management. The waste generated from human and animal activities that are normally solid and they discarded as useless and unwanted are called solid waste. Any useless, unwanted or discarded material that is not a solid or a liquid gas is called solid waste. Due to the rapid increase in production and ends in the consumption process, human society generates and rejects the solid material regularly from various sectors such as agricultural, commercial, domestic, industrial, institutional, etc. The solid waste scenario in urban area. The urban solid waste generated from domestic and commercial activities are municipal solid waste. It is estimated at present India produces 42.0 million tons of municipal solid waste annually. Urban local bodies spend about rupees 500 to rupees 1500 per ton on solid waste management, which is 60 to 70% of amount is for waste alone. 20 to 30% of on transportation. Hardly limited fund is spent on treatment and disposal of solid waste. As shown in the figure, solid waste management is very important and essential in day-to-day life. We have to separate domestic waste in our day-to-day life, like biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. We have to separate paper, glass, plastic as non-biodegradable waste, biodegradable waste as fruits, vegetables, which is degradable. Next, move on to the classification of solid waste. Source-based classification based on place or a location of waste being generated. It is classified as domestic or residential, institutional, commercial, industrial, institutional, construction and demolition, municipal waste or open area street sweeping, processing and manufacturing, agricultural. Type-based classification based on composition or nature of waste, it is classified as follows: garbage, ashes or reduces, combustible and non-combustible waste, bulky waste, biodegradable or non-biodegradable waste, dead animals, abandoned vehicles, construction and demolition waste, hazardous waste, sewage wastes. Next, move on to the functional elements of solid waste management system. Comprises of 6 basic elements including generation of solid waste, on-site handling or storage, collection, transfer and transport, materials and resource recovery, last step disposal. As shown in the figure, flowchart of functional elements of solid waste management. First, generation. Next, move on to the on-site handling and storage. Next, move on to collection. At the same time, transfer and transport or processing a resource takes place. The last step is disposal. Some of the functions of solid waste management: protection of environmental health, promotion of environmental quality, supporting the efficiency and productivity of economy, generation of employment and income. Next, move on to the first step, generation. Generation of solid waste is a result of natural, human and animal activities. Knowledge of generation of solid waste is important in planning, designing and operation of solid waste management system. Generation has two aspects. One is the quality of solid waste, and the other is quantity of solid waste. Quality includes the source, types, and typical composition of solid waste along with its properties, whereas the quantity represents the generation rates and the total quantities and volume of solid waste generated. Next, move to the waste handling. Handling refers to the activity associated with managing solid waste until they are placed in containers used for their storage before collection or returns to the drop off and recycling center. The specific activity associated with handling waste material at source of generation will vary depending on the type of waste material that are separated for reuse, recycling, and extent to which is the material are separated from waste stream. Depending on the type of collection, service handling may also be required to move the loaded containers to the collection point and to return the empty container to the point where they are stored between the collections. Waste storage, the first space to manage the solid waste in home level. The required temperature the requires temporary storage of refuse on the premises. The individual household or a businessman has responsibility for on-site storage of solid waste. For individual homes, industries and other commercial centers, proper on-site storage of solid waste is being a proper disposal because unkept solid waste are simple dumped as source of files, smells and other hazards. Next, collection. The term collection includes not only the gathering or picking up the solid waste from the various sources but also the loading of these wastes to disposal or site or a transport station and unloading there. While loading or unloading, they are similar for most collection systems. The collection or pickup of waste varies with facilities and locations. Next, move on to the transfer and transport. The transfer and transport refers to the means, facilities, and up facilities and operations used to affect the transfer of waste from one location to other, usually more distant location. Typically, the waste from relative small collection vehicles are transferred to large vehicles and then transferred to the distant locations. Resource recovery and processing. Resource recovery is very partial solid waste disposal and reclamation process. It can be expected to achieve waste reduction in future landfill volume requirements. Resource recovery must recognize what is worth recovering and environmental benefits. The last step and final step is disposal. Most of the organic content after segregation may be subjected to bacterial decomposition with end product called humus and compost. The entire process involving both separation and bacterial conversion is known as composting. Decomposition of solid waste may be accomplished aerobically or anaerobically. That's all about this topic. Thank you.